Today I fucked up by convincing my mom to nuke her phone. Several years ago, I saw an April Fool's prank online that said you could recharge your phone by putting it in the microwave for a few seconds. I thought it was absolutely hilarious that people fell for it, and I sent it to my mom as a shared joke to laugh at. I thought she was joining in on the joke when she asked me if I had tried it yet, and I responded, not yet. Unfortunately, she was not joking, took it seriously, and actually stuck her phone in the microwave to give it a top-up. Needless to say, she needed a new phone after that. She sent me an angry email from her work computer basically saying thanks a lot, now I have to buy a new phone. Too long did not read. I sent my mom a prank about how you could recharge your phone by putting it in the microwave and she fell for it. Plot twist, she's pranking you into buying her a new phone. I apologize, but yo mama, so dumb. My roommate in college did this once. I explained to her that it was a joke and that it would definitely break her phone, but she was absolutely determined to see for herself. Probably not too good for the microwave, either. Sorry your mom misread your intention. Lesson. Pranks are supposed to be fun for both parties. If both of you can't laugh afterwards, it's not worth pulling the prank. Today I fucked up by overestimating a family member's intelligence. Yo mama, so dumb she put aluminum foil in the microwave thinking her ass gonna be Zeus. What happened to the microwave? TIFU. Laughed at my supervisor's new idea. Well, this happened about 30 million ago. So I did what all good Redditors do. Created a throwaway account and write about it. I was in a staff meeting, via Zoom, with my supervisor, a couple of colleagues who are at the same level as me, and then a handful of people we supervise. The job or field isn't important. In the meeting, my colleague says she created a new system of reporting and that it's going great. She loves how convenient it is and how it allows instant feedback. Our supervisor agrees and thinks it's truly awesome. I wasn't really paying attention, feign interest and ask what the system is. My colleague says it a Google form and then goes into how cool the reporting system is and asks what I think of it. Without thinking I left out a laugh. Not a chuckle, but a full-on laugh. Our supervisor asks what's so funny. I try to play it off but can't pull off a lie. I say it's the same thing I did over a year ago and no one liked it so I scrapped it. My supervisor says, she doesn't remember it but does remember another reporting system I did, but in her eyes it wasn't the same. I said yes, I did the different one after all the pushback I received from the Google form. Then when both systems received a lot of pushback, I stopped trying. My supervisor says something along the lines of, well, we can talk about this later. I said nothing because I thought she wanted to get the last word. After a few seconds she says, okay, supervisor, let's talk tomorrow. I said something like, yes, let's talk tomorrow. Sorry, I was getting a drink. Normally, I wouldn't be too worried. But my supervisor, whom I used to respect, is not a good leader or supervisor. She welcomes triangulation. She treats women better than men. She selectively remembers ideas. She welcomes over-functioning and working in someone else's lane. She gives half directions and chastises when things aren't done the way she thinks they should be done. Plus, she's right up, happy. I used to like my job. I used to respect my supervisor. I need a new job. Too long did not read. In a meeting with my supervisor, I laughed at her new idea, which was my shot-down idea from 18 months earlier. Start filling out applications so you can jump ship. Fuck that work environment, and depending on if you need the reference in the future and how well tomorrow goes, leave them the day of. Unless you need that reference or she somehow acts opposite from her normal self tomorrow. It's not your fuck up. Narcissists like to take good ideas and then turn them around and say they came up with it. My mother-in-law literally does this within the same conversation of us telling her something, woman facepalming. Sounds like you don't have a very good boss. Also sounds like you would suck to work with, haha. Nothing that you did was a good way of collaborating with others. I guess new experiences or different articulation about this system, which I proposed last year, means we can continue with this new system, which I wholeheartedly support. I'm very much looking forward to it. Hello interviewer, among my accomplishments is the introduction of a cost-effective feedback system. This was 100% me and my supervisor at my previous employer. I said fuck y'all and jumped ship. I have been at my new for a good year now and have not dealt with such shitty leadership. I thought it was the norm for people to be so damn dumb and ignorant. My new workplace has totally given me hope. Find both Google Forms that you attempted to use, and dig up any communication on how to use it, or feedback you got. Make a nominal attempt to remind them of trying it out last year, and have all of it on file to complain up the ladder. I was in a meeting and shared an idea. It was shot down as stupid by my boss. An hour later, that same boss said the exact same thing as though it was gold brilliance. There are evil people everywhere. Run away like I did. I don't know you, and you can feel free to take my advice or not. From the limited explanation and some of your comments regarding this, it seems like you potentially have an abrasive attitude. You're definitely welcome to have that, but it likely won't win you many points with your managers. There are many other ways in which you can stand up for yourself and stand out as a strong team member and subject matter expert without abrasion or frequent retort. Often your ideas are sold by your attitude and how much those around you like you. If people don't like you, or respect you, or like being around you at work, chances are that your ideas will be ignored no matter how good they are. Today I fucked up by telling an April Fool's joke to my fiancé's grandmother. I love jokes. I come from a family of jokers. Today, I tried to test the waters with my fiancé's grandmother on April Fool's Day. I woke up to a text from her grandmother saying, "Happy April Fool's Day," so of course I thought she was down to clown. I texted her back, "Surprise. Fiancé is pregnant." I then proceeded to let me fiancé know that I told her the joke. She was very, very unhappy about it. I immediately texted grandmother back as well that it was a joke. Guess who didn't find it funny, either? Now I have two ladies that I have disappointed today. Good morning Reddit, have a great day. On the bright side, I then called my dad, shared a joke about me filing for unemployment and moving into the pasture with his animals. At the rate today is going, it might not end up a joke at all. Wish me luck. Too long did not read. Told a pregnancy joke, had to abort it immediately. There's an important lesson, right there. Pregnancy and cancer are two of the many categories that never work well for April Fool's Day. Things that aren't good pranks. Pregnant, terminal illness, quitting, breaking up, proposing. Told a pregnancy joke, had to abort it immediately. Take my free award. Told a pregnancy joke, had to abort it immediately. Don't know if that's intentional, but nice one. Never do pregnancy jokes, lesson learned. Pregnant jokes and coming out of the closet jokes are not funny. If you disagree and think that pregnancy jokes are funny, please explain the joke to me. How the fuck do you not know this by now? I actually told my husband I was pregnant on April Fool's Day because I was. I thought the drive was pranking me, so I went and had 2 more tests done. 31 years ago today. Yeah, it usually only takes me about 2 minutes to disappoint a lady too. Nice job on the twofer. Today I fucked up by helping a friend with their thesis, destroying our friendship. Throwaway because plagiarism in my field could mean career over, and mandatory. This didn't happen today, but has in fact happened over the last year and a half. I have been regretting it since. So, quick backstory, I, 27M. Live with my girlfriend, Sarah, 26F. And our friend, Emily, 24F. We were very close, and have lived together for several years while we're all studying at university. I am currently doing my PhD, Sarah is doing her master's, and Emily just completed her honors and is trying to get work. Emily was a very shy, quiet girl who was always keen to learn, always wanted to try her best, and had big aspirations. You can see where this is going. Rewind to late 2020. Emily is getting ready to start her honors and is struggling to choose a topic. Every week we have a tradition of watching movies that the majority of us have not seen. After finding out they hadn't seen The Hobbit, I showed it to them. Emily loved it, and revealed she didn't know much about The Hobbit or Tolkien. So I gave her my copy to read. After reading it, she decided to use it as her honors topic to my surprise, but as a huge fan of the world and the lore I told her that if she did end up doing it, I could help her with my own knowledge, and was happy to proofread her work and discuss her ideas as I mark a lot of this kind of thing for work. During 2021 she worked on her honors, but despite my offers of help and advice having gone through honors myself, she continuously said she wasn't ready to show me her work. So I left it alone. All year, whenever we asked, she said the work was going well and she was constantly working on it and reading all the connected books, so I was impressed and pleased she had taken such a liking to the work. Things were great until about 2 weeks until her submission, when she told us that her supervisor had handed back her final draft with no comments or changes, and said, "Are you sure you would be happy submitting this?" Emily misunderstood that comment to mean her thesis was excellent and nothing needed changing. Mine and Sarah's hearts sank though. We knew what he meant, and both demanded she show it to us. It was abysmal. I don't merely mean bad, or poorly written. I mean it was as if she had merely read the title of the book and nothing else. Her literature review section contained a single quote from a completely unrelated academic, and didn't review any academic literature. Her chapters were nonsensical, circular in their arguments, and would often make reaching arguments along the lines of, as shown in the book, 2 + 2 = 4, and this proves that the number 4 is the color green. It had the flow of a frozen brick, and read like she wrote one sentence a day. But worst of all, she made statements that were factually incorrect, which she wouldn't have made if she had read the book. She called places the wrong names, such as saying Rivendell was a city in Mirkwood, and that Erebor was the Misty Mountain. She would clearly be failed, and when we asked her what mark she was hoping for, she said she was aiming for 90+, but would be happy with 80+. I couldn't let my friend submit this. I took a few days off from work, going through her thesis with her sentence by sentence, discussing it and explaining the errors as well as giving her new things to write about for her topic. She was very grateful. I was happy to help. And after a few days of crunch, she showed me the next draft and it was much better but still a bare pass, and it was hard telling her that it needed more work if she wanted to really excel. This, dear readers, is where TIFU. I edited it myself, adjusting her arguments and adding a few of my own that aligned with her topic. I included pieces of information that are in the expanded LOTR and Hobbit lore. I fixed and rearranged her paragraphs so the flow felt more natural. After all, I had written a thesis before and done really well. Overall, I effectively rewrote about 80% of her entire thesis. When it was done, I worked through the changes with her so she understood all the changes, and she submitted. Her final score, 91. She was thrilled, and we were happy for her too. At first, she showed us her printed final copy, and I noticed that neither Sarah nor I got any mention in her acknowledgements. Not a big deal, but it stung a little considering the help I had given her, and that she mentioned some of her other friends. But since she got her mark back, she has become increasingly condescending towards both of us, as well as incredibly selfish and holier-than-thou at home. She expected that her mark would let her walk into any job she wanted, so took up a part-time job in an unrelated field while she applies for the job she wants. But her honors wasn't in the field that she's applying to, so she hasn't gotten anything. She works for a few hours a week, but has now decided she is the big breadwinner of the house and has totally stopped any cleaning or maintenance. That is for us peasants. Her personality has completely shifted from a bubbly, excited and friendly to demanding and condescending. This has gradually been getting worse. We've tried to talk to her about it several times with different approaches, but she denies everything, and I finally said what Sarah and I had been thinking for a long time. That wasn't your thesis. That was mine. I know. I'm an asshole. And she reacted as you probably expect. Denying I helped her, saying she worked hard on it, and that I'm an asshole for saying it was my work when all I did was help her a little at the end. Things have been tense since then, and it has made me extremely bitter, resentful, and regretful. Yesterday she had her graduation ceremony, surrounded by her family congratulating her. Her social media posts were all about how hard she worked for her mark, and thanking her family for their support. She has even added her honors score to her name and bio on her social media. All the while treating me and Sarah like we are nothing compared to her. Every now and then, she will still talk about how good her thesis mark was at home, and Sarah or I will interject and say, "You mean OP's thesis." I know, it doesn't help the situation. The thought has occurred to me that I have a wealth of evidence that her work was actually mine, and if I took it to our university integrity board she would be stripped of her honors. But I would also lose my job, and my PhD. It would be career over for us both, so I can't do it. Emily tells us she is planning to move out soon, and is trying to get into a house that is way more expensive than our current one, but she is basing it on getting her target job, which, again, is not in the field of her degree. But honestly, once she moves out I don't think we will bother trying to maintain the friendship. Too long did not read. Rewrote my housemates' terrible thesis and got them a great mark. They have since become insufferable, and I regret helping them. Let her move out, you two move on and she will blow up her own damn life because she really is going to blow it all. No matter what. I helped a friend with his master's in IT cause he had so much trouble programming. He ended up getting a job in my company, and got paid more than me because he had a master's, and I had to cover his work. Oof. I did similar for a friend but it was just her resume. All while I wrote it for her, she complained that she was bored. She placed top in the province for the hiring list and said it was because she did so well with her resume that she wrote. She actually thinks she wrote it herself. I can only roll my eyes because I've since found out that her co-workers actually hate her because she doesn't know what she's doing. I bet your little friend will get knocked off her high horse soon enough. Why would it backfire to you? I thought by any means they cannot prove that you did her thesis? But yeah, I wish there's a way to know if someone is an ungrateful bastard earlier on the friendship. There's a saying that comes to mind in this case: you can help stupid. Just drop it and let her be. It's possible she gets lucky, but I suspect life will teach her some lessons. Sigh. No good deed goes unpunished. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. And her supervisor who read the first draft didn't notice that the final version was completely different? So good, that it could not have been written by herself within 2 weeks?